Greetings from Greece. My question is as follows. Some political parties are engaging social media, such as blogs and wikis, to create citizen communities in order to capture grassroots ideas or to obtain feedback for existing policies. Creating such communities can be very challenging and easily results in failure or marginal only success. What do you think are the success and failure factors in the implementation of such political tools? Thank you.
I think a lot of this is under discussion and being discovered. And what makes it complicated? What makes it complicated is not what we mean in the abstract. I'll come back to that. Mm-hmm. What makes it complicated is that we're dealing with people now. We're dealing with people who are schooled by, socialized by, habituated by, who are constantly operating within hierarchical, competitive, even vicious environments. And when those people, which is all of us, right, are in what we'll call a left party, like in Greece or wherever, and that left party is trying to behave in a different way, it is not easy because people bring habits, they bring expectations, they bring patterns of behavior that they're not malicious, they're just learned. They're just part of our lives because most of our lives were in other environments. So it makes it rather difficult. So I think that's what makes it hard to initiate and create from scratch a new structure and call it an open party. That's a participatory process, et cetera, et cetera. That makes it hard. Now, that said, what would an open party or open institution look like? Well, this starts, for me, other people will see it differently, but for me, this starts to bring up some of the institutional questions that are associated with this thing called participatory economics. For me, participation isn't just, I want to participate. That's part of it, right? If you don't want to participate, you're not going to participate. There's no participation. This is not rocket science, right? That's part of it. But there's a second part of it. If I want to participate, but I have no means to participate, my desire is irrelevant. So what are the means to participate? Well, there are a number of things. Partly it's I have to have something to contribute. I have to be in a position to participate, to speak up, to have a viewpoint, to have ideas, to have confidence. If I'm going to participate, I must have the confidence to express myself. I must have the information to have an opinion. You can say that we're going to have participation. You can say that we're going to be totally open to it. We will deny nobody. But if the environment is such that most people have no confidence and have no time and have no energy and have no information, then the fact that they are allowed to participate will be irrelevant. They won't anyway. Another example, it's a little bit stretched, but I think it hopefully the analogy will help. Often the United States sponsors what are called free elections. So there'll be an election in Nicaragua or in El Salvador or wherever that the United States is favoring. What is it? Well, in such an election, everybody's free to participate, right? And that's true. So people are free to cast a ballot. So what does the United States do that it all of a sudden likes such an election? Well, before the election, for an extended period of time, the United States and its agents in the country engage in various activities. They shut down radio stations. They close public meeting places. They censor newspapers. They engage in a process which determines what the choice will be of the participation, this candidate or this candidate. So when the final election comes, everybody's free to participate, right? But in essence, you don't have information, you don't have confidence, you don't have skills, because of the process leading up to it, has robbed all that. It has prevented you from communicating. It has prevented you from developing positions. It has left you in the condition where your participation is only choosing between what we call Tweedledum and Tweedledee, the two candidates, right, who were chosen by others, and so on. So participation is minuscule. Participation, while free, while allowed, while permitted, while even welcomed and urged, is meaningless, right? So if we go back to a party, suppose you have a political party or a movement, and the party or movement says, and it means, people mean it, we want to have 10,000, 100,000, a million, 5 million members. We want those members to have a shared vision of what we're about. We want them to all participate. We want people to be active, to be initiating. So now, be active, be initiating, it says to its membership. Well, that's not enough. Because its membership, if it's a left party, are working people who are exhausted. They are debilitated from their jobs. They have been robbed of education. When they went to school, they were taught how to endure boredom and take orders. But they weren't given skills and knowledge and confidence. When at work, it was made even worse. Now at work, they endure boredom and they take orders. And that's what becomes habitual. And they don't initiate because they're not allowed to. They don't have information because their jobs don't convey information to them. And then they're in the party or in the movement and people say participate. And they say, I don't have the skill. I don't have the knowledge. I don't have the information. I don't have the confidence. And if they do come to the meeting to participate, the people who have all that dominate the discussion, dominate the meeting, dominate the outcomes. And so the participation is phony. You might get to say something, but ultimately it's the 20% who have the confident circumstances and all the information and all the energy and everything else. Those people dominate. So if I want to have an open party or an open movement, what do I have to do? Well, I have to change the way it treats people. I have to somehow not just say everybody can function equally. I have to offset. I have to overcome the asymmetry that exists in its membership, where some people are empowered and educated and knowledgeable and confident, and other people are subordinate. I have to offset that. I have to prevent these people from dominating and incorporate these people. I have to have education programs. I have to have skills programs. I have to have training. I have to have speaking programs. I have to have structures which facilitate participation, which make participation pleasurable and fulfilling to people. So it's more than, it's good to want participation. It's good to welcome participation. But if we're really going to have an open party, an open movement, a participatory party, it's going to have to do more than welcome it. It's going to have to facilitate it. It's going to have to aggressively promote it, aggressively create room for it by not having some people dominate all the open spots, right? And once that mindset is attained, I think it's relatively easy to say what it would look like. An open party or an open movement would be an organization in which the vision that guides the apparatus, the vision that guides the project is known, understood, and shared throughout the membership. The strategy that is going to be utilized is always discussed and debated and is known, understood, and throughout the constituency. The mechanisms for decision making are participatory. It's self-managing. People have a say in decisions in proportion to the degree they're affected. And